Previously on Star Wars: Darkest Dawn. Drekar and company were given another job by Lord Toronar. This time it was to rescue the galactic historian and rebel sympathizer known as Voren Na'al. Voren had been caught up in the recent Imperial Public Order resentencing directive, which saw almost anyone who questioned the Empire, in a manner they deemed seditious, rounded up into prison camps and forced into a manual labor workforce. The team discovered that the ruins of Tiapoca City on the planet of Kamino were being used to house political prisoners of the Empire before being transferred to a more permanent location. Intel leaked to the team also indicated that the prison ship was being manned by a skeleton crew, and that the only hope of freeing Voren was to sneak aboard somehow, free him, and sneak away back into space before the Imperials knew he had gone missing. Utilizing Owen's knowledge and skill as a former Imperial adjutant, the team managed to sneak aboard the prison ship under the guise of a surprise Imperial Security Bureau inspection. The ruse was successful, and the team managed to successfully fool the captain of the ship, while the others freed Voren from his confinement. Our story now picks up as the team is making haste back to their secret asteroid lair.
Perfect.
There we go, and we have killed the music. We are back. Davey is camped out for a bit in the chat. Everybody say hi to Davey. Hello, Davey. So if you were able to catch... Oh, hold on a second. I didn't unmute everybody. That would probably help.
Oh, so he didn't hear us?
No, he didn't hear any of it.
Oh no.
Hi, Davey. Missed
Hi,
you.
Davey.
Now,
Thank
he
you,
hears
Camp
all
Wow,
of it.
Davey.
Pantomime.
So, if you had caught the beginning of the stream, of course, the recap was already there. You can always go back and watch that if necessary in our Star Wars announcer's voice, letting everybody know where we last left off. Picking the game up, however, at this point, the Blue Saber is actually in the process of docking with the new hideaway, the secret lair that the team has been provided. Now, I don't know. You'll have to remind me. I think I may have touched on it, but I don't know if I gave you guys a description of what the location looks like.
No, because we haven't actually been there yet.
Okay, great.
I
No.
don't think you had.
Cool. So when you're approaching, this place is actually built into an asteroid in a small little belt system that floats around a small planetoid that has been very thoroughly farmed out for mining. So it looks like this facility may have been like the head office at one point for whatever mining corporation may have been in here. But the asteroid field is not super dense. One of the things, if you look in Star Wars a lot, especially like in Episode 2, or in was it Empire Strikes Back? Yeah, it was Empire Strikes Back. So in Episode 2 or in Empire Strikes Back, they actually show really condensed asteroid fields, and that's not really the case here. There's some space dust, probably where the remains of some have been, but there's not nearly as much. So it's a good way to put this is there's like a lot of space haze kind of in the area, not enough to really cause much damage. It would probably cause some scoring on the paint if you directly flew through it, at fast speed. And the planetoid itself, in a pinch, could probably be used to hide in. I have to mute somebody. Somebody's kind of loud.
Watch out, mine. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I thought I muted myself.
Hey, you just took yourself off camera instead.
But the location itself is big enough for potentially 3 Starfighter class ships to dock in here. So it could be 3, Starfighters. It could be 3, light freighters. Anything appropriate to about that size. It does have physical doors, but nominally at this point, since you were expected, the doors are open, and it has a force field erected so that you just pass through and it retains the atmosphere, which anybody watching the episode here, very similar to what you see in most of the other episodes. It looks like you could walk right out into space, and technically, if you were suicidal, you could. But as there are some docking lights kind of running along the sides, letting you know. There's nothing else here, with the exception of a small vessel off to the side, but a small one-person vessel. So pretty much you can park wherever you want. You can park sloppy if you want. You can park, in between the lines if you wanted. However you want to do it. But the bay itself is pretty self-explanatory. It looks, for visual reference wise, with the exception of the fact it's not a part of a planet and it's not cold, it's very utilitarian. So, like you would see on Hoth in the opening scenes to Empire Strikes Back. So keep that in mind. There's a fairly large bay door where it looks like you might take in repulsor lift vehicles further into the complex, and then there's a regular check-in where it looks like the regular blue-collar Joes had to go in and clock in through the side door, sort of thing. Obviously, it's not used for that anymore. It's free to use however you want.
Can we tell what they used to mine? Any specific mineral or whatever?
Not offhand, but there still are quite a few safety containers that are open. So likely there are some records of that around here someplace.
Gotcha.
If you wanted to take some time, you could obviously pop back out and scan the belt or the planetoid with your ship, which would cut to the chase there as well. But obviously not super important, but that information is available should you need. And yes, Davey, they have an asteroid.
See what you're missing?
Bum, bum, bum.
I've got a ball of dirt.
Awesome.
Actually, I just watched that that particular movie.
It was a React video.
Yeah, it was a React video. So I got a jar of the dirt, and guess what's inside it?
Great.
But
Right.
as you come in, and bring the ship to a stop, obviously your guest at this point is getting up and stretching his legs. He is also human. For those of you who don't remember, you rescued Vorin Na'al, a galactic historian and somebody who had run afoul of the Empire for quote-unquote seditious talk. But he gets up. But he gets up and is looking around. He kind of looking out the cabin window, and he says, "Is this the stopping point? Where exactly are we?"
Well, Vorin, actually, is brand new to us as well. We've been provided with a hideaway of sorts, as you can see. First time we've been here too, but our instructions are to lay low for about a day, make sure we weren't followed, and then we'll actually head back to where we need to go.
Oh, all right. Well, you'll have to forgive me. I'm kind of new to this life of crime sort of thing, so if it's okay, I'll just follow your lead.
Quite all right. Yeah, we know that you're not a true criminal. Don't worry if that was within your mind at all. We're all on the same side here.
Mr. Null, what do you think is happening here? Just out of curiosity.
What is happening, like here and now, or are we talking politically? That's a real loaded question, given my position at this point, unfortunately.
Why do you think you're here instead of back there?
Well, I've assumed at this point it's a rescue operation, but I'm at a loss as to why. I'm not ungrateful. Don't take that as being ungrateful, like in the least. I am completely grateful. Capital G. In fact, if you want to capitalize all of the letters, we can probably establish that as the premier version of grateful, because I have no idea where I would have wound up otherwise. But are you at liberty to say, or is this kind of a mum's the word sort of operation? Again, I'm having to take my criminality baby steps with all of you, and I really don't know how to take this.
It's understandable. Being cautious, it's good on you, seeing as how you were caught. But we can actually let you know what's going on. As you could guess by now, we're not truly Imperial agents. We're not with the Empire really in any way.
You
That's
had me
why I was-
fooled. You guys definitely had me fooled there for a moment.
That was the idea.
That's-
And
yeah,
I'm
that's-
really grateful with a capital G that it went off as smoothly as it did.
Yeah, I think we actually went off of that mission flawlessly. Actually, we made it out. So as long as
darn close.
they don't tell anybody we were there, like they were ordered not to, we should be completely fine. But yeah, again, we'll stay here for about a day just to make sure nobody tracked us for any reason, and then we'll be heading to the Tapani sector. Do you happen to know anyone by the name of Lord Toronar?
Yes, he and I correspond quite a bit about Old Republic things.
Then you'll get to thank him personally when we deliver you to him.
He put this together?
He did.
Wow. Okay. I am really impressed. I thought he was just sort of a royal individual who had perhaps a little bit too much time on their hands.
He's been quite busy as of late.
Clearly, he's kind of like looking around. He's like, he has a team of entrepreneurs who have a repurposed location of unknown specific origin. Okay.
If I remember correctly, it was a smuggler's hideout we were given. Just way low.
Oh,
It still is, for that matter.
yeah. And he looks around and he says, okay, that makes sense. Former pirate location. Okay. No judgment.
So how long were you in the clink?
Time. I think I lost some time in there, but he kind of feels himself up a little bit, and noticing obviously he hasn't had probably a full meal or a decent one anyways in a while. He says, I would imagine perhaps 2 months, maybe 3. It was really hard to say. And I didn't want to ask any questions because the evidence of what they might do was all around us at that particular location.
Well,
It'd be really interesting to see where were the rest of the prisoners were being taken.
None of us knew. We were all kept under wraps as far as that was concerned.
Montan, have you had a chance to go through that data yet?
I don't know. Not yet.
if you could get on that, that'd be great to know.
Yes, it would be.
But there's a lot of interesting tidbits in those files.
Montan's like, there were several large lads preventing me from getting those details.
Well, me and the droid, we're gonna go check out. Is there an existing functional computer system
In the location here,
in our base? Yeah.
no one has gone inside. You guys are still kind of at your ship right now.
Oh, well, okay, I'm waiting.
Presumably, there would be something here, yes.
All right. Well,
I mean, if this was prior to being a smuggler's outfit, a small corporate location, yeah, there probably was something like that.
can I have T4 having analyzed that data while we flew?
It's still in the it downloaded quite a bit, so T4 is still in the
How-
process of sifting through that.
How long did it take us to get here?
Active ping, quiet.
Active ping. One ping only.
I love the fact that he has that for his ringtone, and it's in Star Wars, so it could technically be relevant.
Yeah.
What you
Especially
guys
now.
aren't aware of is that I may be planning on actively using that. So if it pops up in game again at one point,
Oh no!
suddenly you get pinged by an enemy, and you're like, "Oh crap!"
That's great.
Turn it off.
Anyways, back on
It's
here.
a stealth mission.
I know,
Not
right?
anymore.
Yeah, how long did it take us to get here?
Only about a day and a half.
Okay.
Yeah, not long at all.
Does it seem like the facility here, like it does have power, like it's
Oh, yeah.
running?
Mhm.
Okay,
It is actively
Got a
running.
force field.
that's right. Good point.
Yep.
Okay.
It had running lights and a force field.
Cool.
Well, let's check the place out.
Yeah, I agree. If we're going to
All
be
right.
using this place, let's get used to it.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, yeah. So you, all of you, kind of step out. He does another kind of stretch again, and as he does, you can hear his stomach kind of rumble a little bit. And he's like, "Ooh, I could use some food. Hopefully, we've got something here." No offense to the paste, obviously, but that's kind of what I've been having ever since I got in that facility, and it doesn't go very far.
Yeah, doing that for months would be
So
rough.
You'd like to explore the kitchen first. is
If
what
there
you're
is
saying.
one, and that is an option, I would absolutely love that.
Suppose we might as well.
I don't blame you. You're lucky we got you when the Empire decided to establish that new little emergency act.
Right again. And as you guys are kind of chatting and making your way off of the ship, and into the docking bay, the side door opens up, and a human steps out. Got some.
I'm gonna.
He has some basic spacer's clothing, just kind of a vest, a shirt, some fingerless gloves, tool belt, cargo pants, and boots. The boots are kind of they are laced, or I should say, are not laced, but they have buckles, but they look a little on the loose side, like he's just been kind of relaxing or whatnot.
I'm gonna draw my blaster.
That explains the other ship.
And he's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! Hostility, people!"
Hey there, friend. Didn't realize that there was someone still here.
Not still here. I am your assistant. My name's Cade. Can I put my hands down?
Put him down. Put it away, Nasara.
Okay.
Nassar puts it away. So he's
Yeah.
like, "Okay, whew. Sorry, I was sent ahead to get the place prepped, and I'll be basically the caretaker. But while you guys are kind of out and about."
If you don't mind my asking, just to make sure we're on the same page, who was it that sent you here?
Oh, and he, looks back up on his data pad. He says, "I was hired by a guy by the name of Drecker."
Okay.
All right then.
Guess he's
I
solid.
kind of figured this wasn't a mining operation, even though sovereign mining was kind of a thing. Yeah, I couldn't help but notice that this isn't a mining ship. Not that's a problem.
Right. Well, appreciate your help. Whatever you can show us. If whatever you'd like to show us, or whatever tour you're going to give us.
Would
ready.
love if you could show us some breakfast.
He says, yeah, actually, perfect. So, and he just kind of puts his foot, by the door. I'm still working on the door. It likes to close by itself, so guys could just come on in. I'll keep this door open here for you. And you can see, like, occasionally it's going like like trying to just go ahead and close.
Yeah. Going in.
Okay, so you walk through. Again, most of the facility is still set up the way it was left. So, I mean, there are, it would be like walking into a prefab office that had certain areas, like a walk-in desk area where people would check in, check out, sort of thing. And there's a couple lockers here that are here, but there's no equipment or anything on the inside here. It's like no computer, no chair or anything. It's just hollowed out for whatever purpose you might want to reuse it for. The hallway goes down, and you can actually see a little droid, the equivalent of a Roomba, just kind of going along and just kind of doing a little bit of sweeping, just kind of like a mouse droid, and the lights are on, everything going. He says, I've already been here for about a day, kind of done a clean sweep of the place. He says, so it's can be staffed up to roughly 15 people. So I think you guys shouldn't have a problem finding your own spot from, what I understand. The office has been repurposed to for like general communications and whatever meeting area you want to turn it into. A lot of this is all basic in the sense that from what I understand, it's here for you to reutilize however you want. There's just stuff here, you can move it around, whatever. If you need me to pick something up and move it, that's fine too. And you end up seeing a blue and white law enforcement droid like come walking by, just go tick, 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 tick. It's got like the little holsters right there for blasters on its side. He says, yeah, it's a repurposed law enforcement droid. Don't mind him. He's in patrol mode right now. I'll make sure that all of your information's in the data bank, so he knows exactly who you guys are. That's not a problem.
That's great. Excellent.
He says, so you'll have that. So, you've got that. You've got me, obviously, on hand. He says, now I just got done installing in the restroom area. We've got 2 refresher booths, and they're fully stocked. So if you need to utilize them for any reason, they're obviously there on hand. He says, we also have an automated food manager, which it just goes through what's on stock and can layer it out as you need to, which is actually handy because as he walks you guys into the kitchen / dining area, there is actually a chef droid. And the chef droid looks about like what you would imagine a chef droid looks like. It's very basic and humanoid in design. And one hand is humanoid, the other hand has a couple of different utensils for attachments, like a whisk, like a knife,
Like a
sort of thing.
Swiss Army arm.
Not quite as extensive, but very similar. Yeah, it definitely gives that impression.
Nice.
I'm sitting over here planning upgrades.
Montan's like, yes, the droid rebellion. will
There's so
begin."
many droids here.
New friends.
So I just posted in the chat. That is the personal chef droid.
Ah, cool.
Get ready to destroy Montan.
And then here is the police droid.
I'll be
Again,
right back.
they all look pretty much like what you would expect them to look like.
K2SO.
Not quite. No, those are military issues. These are all civilian issue items.
Gotcha.
I just watched Rogue One with my son, so Like that was on my mind.
Love that movie. But yeah, he's taking you, through through everything here. He's showing you the primary doors. After this hallway, everything has like a primary door. All of it has a Magna lock attachment, which he's like, and as he explains it, he says, and he does that whole, this door right here, sort of slaps it, and he says, charges and people with enough time, they'll probably get past just about anything. He says, but this Magna lock here, once this bad boy shuts, it can only be opened from the other side, short of obviously somebody cutting through it or blowing it apart. So it's just an extra layer of security should something go wrong here. He says, and every door past this point has got that as he gets you guys back to the hallway where the check-in is at. He says also, another nifty little feature I think you guys will like. He smacks the wall, which it doesn't look like there's a button, but you can hear like a click. And then you hear something very faintly, like almost kind of fall. Like there's a very silent, almost kind of swish. And he says, now the hallway is in go mode. I absolutely advise you not to walk down the hallway. He says, because that is what's called a monofilament screen guard. It is almost invisible to the naked eye. And anybody who decides to go walking down there is going to immediately find out why it was a bad idea to bum rush this hallway.
Good to know.
He says, our employer saw fit to make sure that we've got that on this particular hallway, as well as the service entrance just on the other side of this. So outside of that, there isn't any additional sort of armaments in here. So probably going to make some adjustments, or I don't know, provide me some extra equipment that I can install in my spare time. Whatever have you. He says the main computer room has a hollow communicator set up. We also have a universal power adapter set up in here just in case. And he says most of the bedrooms have been repurposed so that they are not suited for employees, but suited for individuals. So the rows of bunk beds have been taken out to make them a little bit more personable and roomy for an individual instead of 4 people.
All right. Speaking of which, how many of those do we have here? Do you know?
We have enough to effectively house 15 people.
Oh, 15. All right. Excellent. Wow, this is great. Any other defenses, perhaps for the outside of the base, if anybody unfortunately finds this place?
He says no, not as of yet. There were, from what my understanding, there was some pirates that had set up shop here a while back. I am trying to get some of the laser turret that was located outside up and running, but that has been a little bit more difficult than I anticipated.
All right. Well, excellent. When it comes to the food for the automated food manager, how well stocked is that?
Oh, I just got that fully stocked. So it's that was actually designed for the employees to have enough food on hand for 2 months should something be needed. So for 15 people, I don't know, do the math. It's a lot for 15 people.
Right. Excellent. Okay.
Is there a medical area?
He said, yes, there is actually a small med bay here. Although we don't have any med droids, located inside. He says there has been a medical diagnostic scanner installed, as well as a plasma protein replicator.
What was that last one?
Plasma protein replicator.
Okay.
What are you running into difficult wise with the turret?
It's old. So I'm just needing replacement parts.
Okay. Just figured to ask in case we need to keep an eye out.
No, I totally get it. I was just I was in a rush to try and get some other things done and make this a place you could actually land at and have it fully stocked. So apologize I couldn't get that fixed, but I'm still working on it.
Hey, it's no problem. The place is old. It used to be owned by pirates. That's bound to happen. It was neglected.
And you do not know what they had going on in the room they used for a cantina.
I'd rather not know.
Yeah, that took a while to clean up.
Anyways, you probably have a lot more on your hands. You should probably get back to work.
Okay. So he just kind of does one of these numbers because he's being dismissed. He says, all right, well, you guys enjoy. Chef Bot is here for your orders, I guess, or whatever. So he just kind of goes off to go find something to work on.
Well, I guess let's go check out the chef bot. What do you say, folks?
I mean, our historian hasn't had a proper meal, so
Exactly.
Sounds like a good place to start.
Don't forget to unmute yourself when you're going to talk, Shelly.
So yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
sounds good. I could go for something that's not pasty.
Montan's doing the kid in a new house thing, going through every room and be like, "This is my room. This is my droid bay."
Mine.
right.
He'd be
So, okay.
like that seagull. Mine.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so this place has been, it has, once you get past the dock, it has a new house sort of smell because attention has been paid, to cleaning it up very well and making it not so scuzzy looking on the inside. You know, the walls have been painted or cleaned up, as well as the floors. Service shafts for trash and plumbing and whatnot have been been touched up and cleaned up. So it has almost a corporate feel to it at this point. It's nice. It's well lit. It's not gloomy. It doesn't give off smuggler vibes anymore. But yeah, so at this point, the chef bot is just sort of standing there at attention with, his utensil arm, at the ready.
Chef bot. My team and I are hungry. What do you have on the menu today?
So, it turns and looks for a second and motions with its other hand to a display that has a couple of options for a menu right now at this point. For breakfast, you have the equivalent of something as quick and easy as like an oatmeal sort of paste with some flavor powder, as well as some dried fruit options to go with that. For lunch, and then if you want something that's not quite so quick and easy, and mainly it goes by time scale. So it's like if you're in a time crunch, it gives you recommendations on what you should grab, if you're in a hurry. So if you're not in a hurry, the better version of breakfast essentially is like flapjacks with the equivalent, like bacon and eggs sort of equivalent. For lunch, something similar. It has a very kind of basic on the go grab sort of protein sandwich with like an energy drink sort of thing to go with it. But the sandwich is a little customizable. You can mix and match a little bit with like certain types of proteins and vegetables to add in that if you want. Then the longer version of lunch, obviously at that point, if you're looking for it, is more of the equivalent of like a pulled pork or a pulled chicken type of sandwich, kind of a hoagie. Like one of them's basically the equivalent of like you're like a ham sandwich, but you can mix and match, like that sort of thing. The other one's like something a little bit more sophisticated that you might get at a sub shop. Pulled pork, pulled chicken. Dinner, same thing, but they've got 3 options for there. They've got the quickie, which is the equivalent to like a TV dinner. So they're like, pre-packed, heated up, ready to go. It's got, your 3 sample food, 3 of the food groups in it, as well as a drink. The other one it has an option for is it has a small steak option with some potatoes and vegetables to go with it. And then the other one from that is the equivalent of like a large sort of chef salad with obviously some other mixed options that you can throw in there. If you want it a little bit sweeter, there's some fruits that you could toss into it, or there's other vegetable types, along with several different chopped meat version options that you can toss in there, be it seafood or otherwise. So there you go.
I will have the Irish nachos.
I see, yes.
Yeah, me too.
In Star Wars, once again, Irish nachos.
They're everywhere.
Yeah. Reality bleed. Yeah. So, let's see. Yeah. So Drade will go ahead and just have one of the main, like, is it effectively morning time or noon time?
No, it doesn't matter. It just it's originally programmed per shift, but it's just it's offering it to you however you want to have it.
Okay.
You're not keyed into time slots. It's just if you want dinner right now or breakfast right now, go for it. It's whatever you're hungry for. That's what it'll prepare.
He's going to go for one of those lunch like sandwiches. It doesn't matter which one. He just picks one. Boop.
Okay. So everybody going through and starting to make your selections in as to what you want. Okay,
Yeah.
sure. At that point, he I'm forgetting his name again already. Vorin looks at it and he's just like, oh, steak. Hits that one real quick. He's already salivating and just finds a spot to sit down. And the chairs in here are not the generic sort of chairs that you would find in like a diner where it's just like, like the very sterile plastic. They're not super plush, but they do have some cushioning to it and a little bit of an armrest. So if you want to, there some attention has been paid to some creature comforts here. Let's put it that way.
Right. Cool.
So, he sits down and, has his drink and it's just starting to relax at this point. And Chefbot is starting to go to town. Like first one, getting everything going. And you can see the, like per item that you guys have ordered per menu, it's like, it's almost like an automated machine that's just like shooting down the specific ingredients to him. And then, he's just going through it. Super efficient.
Right.
Discarding of the can or packaging or whatnot that that ends up coming with it and shoving it down into a trash chute and within 20 minutes you guys have everybody has all of your particular meals ready for you.
Nice. All right. What service? And he takes a bite out of the sandwich. How good is it?
It is actually, we'll say it's Subway good.
Okay. All right.
So it's not gourmet, but it's well above standard ship fare.
Right. Okay.
Maybe worth investing in one of these at the safe house back on Pelagon, huh?
Yeah, if we can get that working, boy, we can make the Blue Saber, something to be proud of. Give us just 3-4 years tops and 1,000,000 credits, and nothing will beat it.
Droids everywhere.
Wouldn't be opposed to that.
If Montan had his way, the entire Blue Saber would be automated. That as soon as you like walk around, you're like, Blue Saber, scratch my butt.
Yeah.
And just like an arm comes out from the wall and just all.
If Montan had his way, the Blue Saber would be the first step to another separatist movement.
So I was just watching one of the episodes of Andor before we played the game, and Luthen's ship is a droid.
Yeah.
Like it's the control module is a built-in droid.
Yeah.
And so he's just
technically
like,
the Millennium Falcon is too.
Yeah, I know, but you don't really see it.
Right.
But he's just sitting there. He's just like, make hyperspace calculations for Aldani, and it's just like done. And he throws the hammer. Like there's no no work involved.
Yep.
Nice.
So, Drade, how do we report success on this mission?
Well, we do that in person. I mean, if we try to establish contact right now, anybody who intercepts that might be able to track it back here. So I figure we'd lay low and quiet for one full standard day, make sure nobody suddenly appears, we don't pick up any other weird communications, which reminds me, I need to go check out that comm room. But after that, then we'll just head straight home and collect and complete as we typically do.
Does anybody need a reroll? Davey is asking before you pumpkins.
Good.
I am sitting
Yeah.
on one.
One,
I've
please.
got one.
Although I may or may not have forgotten about my character sheet until about 5 minutes ago.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Well, yeah, I'm kind of like 5 seconds ago.
Roll what you
Cannot
feel like
confirm or
rolling.
deny.
I
Pretty
still have
sure
one
I got
after the jailbreak.
60-10
Hmm.
for this roll.
Considering we don't roll d10s in this?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Huh.
Okay, so Shelly, you got a reroll from Davey?
Thank you, Davey.
Nassar is like, I identify as 10d6. I'm just going to roll all the things.
I mean, it works out with my Irish nachos.
Yeah.
Don't knock it.
I really want some of those now.
So I'm
So-
having P4 scour the computer system with his 9D security, figure out if there's anything hidden, find out base defenses, anything we can find. Just
Sure.
I want to have that knowledge for when we need it.
Yeah. So, I mean, all you come up with, obviously, are the blast doors for the docking bay, which is standard. The monofilament down the hallways. The currently non-functioning turret, and that is it
Okay.
for defensive, offensive sort of capabilities.
Okay. So
Drade,
sitting-
you find the comms room, no problem.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so going in there and finish up the last bite of my sandwich, and then
You see
take-
Kate. You see Kate in there. His feet are up on the console at this point. He's got a hologram right now. He's currently watching some cantina dancers, kind of doing their thing.
okay. Oh, hey, yeah, didn't expect to run into you here.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Oh no, don't worry. We all need a break. It makes sense. You've been at work. Thank you again for getting everything prepped as you have. Yeah, and let us know. Whenever you're able to get that laser turret fixed, or if you need help or something. We've got a few handy people on our team.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it should be fine. It's just a matter of the parts. That's the problem. I'm waiting to hear back from the office. I guess they have a lead on some stuff. used parts wise. So once they let me know, I'll get back at it and try and get that thing back up and running.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay. Well, yeah. So I wanted to see what the comms room is capable of. I don't plan on sending out communications right now, of course, but what can we pick up? What's our range? Do you know?
Oh, he says, well, this bad boy is set. He says we can if we connect to the HoloNet, we can send pretty much anywhere. But system wise, we can we're able to lock into all the Elrude sector.
Okay. Gotcha.
So if there's anything on open channels, even in the Darylin side of the Elrude sector, we'll probably be able to pick it up. Not that you'd want to go to the Imperial side, but there's that.
Right. Yeah. Just to see, if we pick up anything that warns us, it's good that we have that. Excellent. All right. So how long you been working with Drecker?
Oh, I've been working tech stuff with Sovereign Mining for I don't know 5 years or so, give or take.
Gotcha. And let me guess, you well maybe it might be different for you. But my guess would be you were just minding your own business one day, and then all of a sudden you got a communication from a Lord Toronar asking you to help him out, or maybe it was Drecker. That just seems to be House Pelagia's way of like bringing on personnel,
Well, I mean, I don't know about House Pelagia, but yeah, I did have a brief sit down at one point with Lord Toronar. I've been mostly going through Drecker.
See. Well, good. I'll let you get back to your entertainment. Don't mind me. Yeah, and if you need us, we'll be around. We'll be here, like I said, for about a standard day, and then we'll be out of here.
Oh, yeah, sure. Oh, and he says, and he points to, like up on the comms, he says, I've got this rigged to any of the monitors that are in here, should you want to watch the holovid from your own room or wherever. He says, this here, you flip this switch, we get tuned into the resort that's over here in the Elrude sector. They've got some special shows they broadcast on their planet, but we've got tapped into that so we can watch what the rich folks are watching. And then this here is when sports night is happening on Coin. I don't know if you're from here, but they're a warrior race. So they have like swoop bike racing and gladiatorial fights and whatnot. So you're interested in tuning into that kind of stuff, you flip that one.
Sounds great. And you're saying you could pipe this stuff just into the bedrooms already, or?
Oh yeah. Oh, this was originally wired for to be connected to whatever corporate headquarters this company had here. So they splurged for system-wide communications.
Fantastic. All right. Yeah, I'll let everybody know. Thanks, Cade. You're doing great. Keep up the work. Good work.
All right, no problem. Thanks, boss.
Turns around and heads back to the team.
Okay. At this point, your guest, Vorin, has sufficiently filled his belly and is just going off to go find a room to crash at. He's just kind of holding his stomach. We're very satisfied.
All right. Well, One rescue target satiated. We're doing good, team. By the way,
So far,
yeah, I mean, hey, don't jinx it. Don't jinx it. The Force is with us.
you
Clearly.
don't think that was just too easy?
I think we had all the information that we needed to plan out an operation that made the most sense with everything that we had. We had Owen and his background, and we had the prince, and we had the ship. I think we did what we needed to do, and clearly we managed it. So far, nothing's been on our tail.
I don't
So
know if this is cliche or
so-
anything, but it sounds like the Force was with us this time.
do you you really think that they'll stay quiet once they realize we took the prisoner?
That really depends on how well Owen sold it to the captain of that dungeon ship, which I was with him. He, boy, if I didn't know better, he'd be making my knees buckle a little bit. Yeah, it was intimidating. I'm glad I'm not part of the Imperial Army. I wouldn't want one of them breathing down my neck, honestly. But yeah, I think if he managed to get them to believe him fully, they really shouldn't have a reason to divulge what we did.
What's going on? I had to go take my meds.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was
hey,
saying
Owen.
what good job you did.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't think we have anything to worry about as far as that goes. Yeah, we just sometimes it clicks, and you take the victories when you can get them. If there's anything that I learned during the war, yeah, you take any success you can get.
It seems like maybe our extensive training kind of paid off. How
think you're
how
right.
was that, by the way? We haven't
It-
really talked about it that much.
Yeah, it was great, actually.
And you
Brought
found
back a
what
lot
you
of
were
memories.
you found what you were looking for.
I think we did. And he looks to Ashi. I mean, not to speak for both of us or anything, but yeah, that
No,
was an excellent experience.
Yeah, I agree. It was nice to get back into training and being able to kick somebody else's butt.
Huh.
She'll just
The speaker?
smirk over at Drade.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, if you want to spar again, just let me know. We're ready this time.
Anytime.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking rough because of Montana girl in an extra coat.
It was cold, okay?
Does this place have a training area?
Well,
We could technically make just about any large enough space that training area, I suppose.
Given we have 2 Force users, let's not.
no,
Because if crates go flying, we're going to damage our ship.
Well, we
I'm sure they
could
can train
spar around the
respectfully.
ship. He's just sore because I kicked his butt a couple of times.
Yeah, a couple. And you were cheating, by the way.
there's no cheating and fighting.
I was not.
Okay.
I was
It's the
using
makeup.
everything to my advantage.
What is it they
Exactly.
say?
Cheating.
All is fair in love and war.
Yeah.
That's true.
Okay, you 2 get the makeup.
Well,
Yes, mommy and daddy are done fighting.
that location was interesting. Not just cold, but it had strange, dark history to it.
Yeah,
Really?
but I do hope that we get another chance to go back and train more.
I actually wonder if he'll stay, since we spent so much time there and with everything we did. I mean, like he said, the amount of time, the amount of effort, and the type of training we were doing was dangerous in its own right. It could be something that's sensed, especially since there was so much training going on with the Force. We dipped into it quite a few times.
True.
If you're planning on going back to do the exact same thing, it would probably be a bit complicated given there would be another high chance for Inquisitors to come knocking.
Yeah, I know we won't be able to do something like that again anytime soon. But I'm hoping that the Force takes care of him as it has so far. Keeps him safe.
Yeah, we actually need more assets like him. And I hope we find more.
Can I ask, what is it like?
What's what like?
The Force.
Oh,
Oh,
what have you
That's-
heard about the Force so far?
it's kind of
What do you know of
hard
it?
to explain.
That it ties things together. Like a I don't know. I mean, just what's common knowledge, really.
Which isn't a lot nowadays with the anti-Jedi propaganda. I'm actually surprised you knew that much. Honestly, you never hear anyone talk about it nowadays.
In the background,
No.
you can hear the speakers of the station. It's not loud, but you can start to hear some music coming through now. And it is Cy Snoodles and the Max Rebo Band.
Nice.
Which, if you're familiar with who they are, those were the guys who were in Jabba's palace during Return of the Jedi.
The blue elephant guy.
Yeah, exactly.
I loved him. I don't know. For me, I guess it's hard to describe what it feels like because I've always felt it. I don't know what it would feel like not having it.
Yeah, for most of us who are taken in by the Order, it starts off very young, sometimes even 3 or 4 years old. It just depends on the person, their species,
Yes.
their ties to the Force.
I mean, I don't even remember much about my family because I left when I was about 3.
That sounds terrible. They take children?
I don't. Well,
You must remember, I know it's been nearly 2 decades, well, that's years since we've dealt with having a Jedi Order, with Jedi being able to bring peace throughout the galaxy, but to be picked to actually attend the Academy and join the Order is a high honor.
it's
It's
a big
not as if
thing.
they can accept anybody.
And like for my situation, I mean, it was a great honor for my family to have, a Force user. So, yeah, they had no problems letting me go. I
don't
didn't know anything else.
I still
I don't-
can't. I can't.
I don't like the
imagine.
idea of somebody showing up and saying, "Hey, we're going to take your kid. Please understand this is a high honor."
At
Yeah,
the
they
same
They
time,
they have a choice. I mean, the reason why that they try to get him as young as they can is so that they're not influenced by other Force users like the Sith.
What are the Sith?
the guys in black armor think, where's Vader?
Yeah, if you know
A
who.
lot of officers fear him because you don't want a guy like that showing up on your ship and snapping your CO's neck right in front of you just using his hand. And some sort of supernatural entity you can't see.
So,
And as
out,
Wow.
so
he's
out
and
of
as
character.
he's speaking,
Hold on a second. Out of character. So, as an FYI, Nasara and Montan would have no idea who he's talking about. Just so we were aware of like how the canon works, because Darth Vader was really only known through the Empire.
Yeah.
Drade and Ashijak wouldn't actually know who he is, but they would know that Sith were involved in the Empire. So just so that way. So
so
Owen.
they don't know that Anakin became
Oh no,
Darth.
You
Oh yeah,
mean-
like
not at
You
all.
mean we didn't see the movies?
Correct.
Yeah. Darn it. Gosh darn it!
So they will always. So
What am I looking at? This is
Oh,
now. What everything you see now is happening now.
so it's just Owen's the only one who knows about Vader.
Correct. You were the
The-
only one
the-
that would actually have working knowledge of Vader.
I
Yeah.
don't know who that is, but that sounds terrifying.
the
Let's
Sith-
just say he's the Emperor's right hand man.
Oh gosh.
You know, with
Which
the
makes
Force,
sense.
you have light and dark, and
So
there
he does
always
need
needs
to
to be
have
a
a
balance
breathing
between the
issue.
two. They have to have a balance between the two, and the Sith lean more towards the dark, so there's no balance, and they're just not the good guys.
Wait, if you need balance, don't you need both?
the way to balance it depends. There is a light side to the Force and a dark side to the Force. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're opposites, like a room full of light and a room in pitch black. It's not like that necessarily. It's what it's about. The Force, like Nasara just mentioned, it's something that spreads everywhere and establishes connections. It's a field. It's everywhere that we can tell throughout the
Like-
galaxy,
Like
throughout the
gravity.
universe. In a way, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's like any other force, but it's in tune, especially with life. It's unclear if life makes it, or if it allows life to happen, or if there's some perfect symbiosis, but that's one of the main connections that it has, and it binds planets, stars, people together from any distance, really, and even over time, some say. But as I mentioned earlier, you have a light side and a dark side, and Ashi and myself, we would be agents of the light. And what that means is we do what life itself attempts to do. Just keep going to allow life to exist and thrive. So we protect life. Like what the Jedi Order used to do, they would defend the weak, protect the innocent. They would stop wars from happening, stop battles from raging, help whenever there was an emergency in a world. Anything that would especially save lives or protect them. But the dark side, it doesn't necessarily do the opposite, like just death and decay. It's the way my master years ago described it. He said it was like a drug. Like you could be addicted to it. The Sith that we mentioned. Imagine what the Jedi were like and what we do. Well, the Sith also use the Force. They're strong in it like we are, but they focus on the dark side, which means effectively power for power's sake. It's a temptation. And the power makes you think that you want more, but all these Sith end up doing with it is controlling people, hurting people, killing people, destroying people. I've read a few historical texts where entire galactic wars were started by just one Sith. So, to balance would really mean that we allow life to do what it does, to make sure that it thrives, and we don't allow the dark side to take over and destroy everything we hold dear.
Yeah.
If you say so, I just heard the Jedi were like generals, and that doesn't sound very peaceful. But
What kind of things can you do?
Well, as you could imagine, with the Force being everywhere and connecting everyone, there are three primary things that we do with it. We manipulate the flow of it within ourselves. We manipulate it so that we can sense more than you normally would be able to. That moves throughout the Force. And we can alter the environment, reach out with it, as if arms and hands of our own, but not attached to our bodies. There's many things you can do, and we've learned a few things, but I've known masters who could do so much more. It's actually quite incredible. Like, what can we do? Is there, Jerome, where we're at, is there anything nearby that's like a small container or like an object sitting on a table or anything like that?
Sure. 1 second. Shelly, can I get you to turn your volume down on your side? I can hear Dale through your microphone.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So you're coming in just
Dale,
fine.
get out of my microphone.
You're coming in just fine, but anybody coming in on this side, we could hear the feedback. So thank you. I was trying to message you quietly, but you're not looking at those chats. So
She's actually paying attention. Weird.
no, I know. No, that's fine.
Rude.
But yes, Dale, there are still like utensils and whatnot in this room where you guys are. I'm presuming you're probably just having this conversation in the dining area. So
Probably,
yeah, there's utensils, there's plates, there's cups, whatever you want to use.
Okay. So then, say like we're all like still sitting at the table. We've got our utensils and plates and stuff. So I'll like look at my empty cup, and he'll raise his hand in front of himself, and he'll face the cup, and he's going to try to use telekinesis to lift it into the air.
Okay, I'm not gonna make you roll for it.
Okay, cool.
So he focuses for a second, and the utensil starts to come up, however far you decide to lift it.
Yeah. Kind of lift it up and just kind of like move it slowly across the table so that Nasara could reach out and like grab it if she wanted to.
I'll poke it very hesitantly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Moves a little bit, and then I'll just set it down in front of you on the table.
Yeah, Owen sides eyes that and just says, I've heard people who've seen what Vader does, but instead of but when his hand out and and the other person's holding their throat.
That would definitely be the dark side.
That is terrifying.
And when all said is done, he just closes his hand and they're done.
Okay, I want to test it. Dale, say something.
Stuff, things, testing, 1, 2, 3.
Yes, way better.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
As you might have caught on by now, the main difference between that type of power for the light is to simply move, create, manipulate, but the dark side typically is focused on fear, destruction, killing, like this. You called him a Lord Vader?
Well, his actual, his full, hold on.
hijinks afoot at Colin's house.
I was thinking, tell Rachel we said hi.
Well, a lot of the soldiers called him Lord Vader, but his actual title and name was Darth Vader.
Does that,
Who names
does
their
that
kid
mean
Darth?
something?
I remember reading that in a book. I think that's a title they use. It's not like Jedi isn't a part of our name, but we would be a Jedi Ashi. Jedi
Yeah.
Drade.
Besides Inquisitors, I've heard he's done some hunting himself.
I'm not surprised.
Drade and Ashijak would have heard the term Darth used before. Not Darth Vader, but Darth Tyrannus.
Okay.
That was the name that what's his name was known by.
Dooku.
Dooku, yeah, Count Dooku was known by.
Okay.
The Jedi Order would have you guys would have known that's the Jedi Order
Okay.
because he was always considered a high value target.
Got it. Okay.
The rest of us would not have heard. Like,
No.
we might have heard of Count Dooku.
Oh,
but
absolutely heard of Count Dooku. Yeah, Count Dooku's
Okay.
claim to infamy was that he was the leader of the Separatist forces, but that's what he would have been known as Count Dooku.
Well, was there anything you'd all like to know?
Do you talk to animals? Something like that?
I think that is possible. I haven't developed that skill, and he looks to Ashi. Have you been able to?
No.
I have heard of others who they understand animals and can apparently get them to understand themselves. I'm not sure it's a language, but it's using the Force to understand another life form. It's relatively common.
Huh. Interesting.
You're very interested in the Force. Any particular reason?
Not really. No, just it's all very new.
Well, if you ever needed to know anything else, just ask us. We'll let you know what we can, of course. Neither of us are masters. We are still Padawan learners, but we'll explain whatever we know.
What is whatever
Padawan?
you said? Yeah, that.
Think of it like a student.
Terry,
Essentially,
did I
there were
pick up any of this peripheral knowledge during those 5 months on the planet with these people? Or was I just
Some of these terms, probably, but only in passing because most of their training wasn't around you.
yeah.
You would just seen them very exhausted when they came back to the ship.
Well, yeah, I mean, I didn't think he came back to the ship because he gave you sleeping quarters on like rock.
Right.
I didn't know if I even saw you for 5 months, so that's what I was trying to figure out. Like, did we visit? Did I hear, some of these loose terms, and just trying to set my knowledge level.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, some of these terms like definitely Padawan, you would have heard something like that. Yeah.
Knight, Padawan, and Master. Do I know those?
I mean, we'll say yeah, because it probably would have come up in conversation at some point. That's fine.
effectively there were different levels of knowledge and skill within the order. And you begin as a Padawan learner. As Ashi said, you're a student. And one master, which would be the highest level achievable, takes on one Padawan learner and begins their journey learning about the Force.
And at that point, you hear a break in the music. And at this point, it's been a couple hours. You guys just been conversing, eating, relaxing for a change, putting your feet up and just having idle chit chat. And music kind of breaks. And you hear, guys, it's Cade. I've got somebody hailing us to come in.
Oh boy, okay, I'll be at the comm room in a second. Drake gets up and jogs over to the console.
I should probably too, in case it's Imperial.
Okay.
Good call.
I'm gonna
As far as I
touch
know,
up
the only
my.
guns we have are on the ship. So
I'm gonna touch up my makeup, make sure that I don't look like myself.
Oh, sure. There you go. That would probably be a smart idea. All right. So the on screen, you end up seeing an individual who is he's in a mask. It's got kind of an orange glow to the visor that kind of intersects in a V pattern. The individual has sort of like a round rimmed hat. Think kind of like the Chinese coolies type of hat. Although it doesn't come up to a sharp point, it kind of comes a little bit more blunt and around. There is, and then because you can only kind of really see the top portion, and then there's a little bit of like what appears to be a cloak kind of coming down around the upper chest and neck and mask area. And a robotic voice comes through and indicates that he is here to retrieve the package and is requesting clearance.
Can I tell who this person is exactly?
How would you determine who this person is?
Well, given their whole like uniform or whatever, would it ring a bell or
Nope.
anything?
Nope.
Okay.
That's a good question, but
Would
did Tornar say he'd be sending somebody to pick him up?
No, I don't think he did.
he did
Owen's-
not, but he
Owen's
has
gonna-
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Owen's gonna ask, would you identify yourself here, please, as we were not informed of anyone coming to retrieve a package.
affirmative. My name is Akanai.
Akanai, I see. Can you give us a moment, please?
Does that name sound familiar?
Not to me.
No. And I was, I mean, did he didn't tell you that he was sending? Is there a way that we can reach him to confirm?
We sent a signal directly to the planet. I'd rather not do that. If we can avoid it, that would mess with our security. Could try to send a coded signal. Cade, do we have any means of sending like a coded transmission that Lord Toronar would be able to pick up back in his world?
Absolutely. We can certainly send that through a secured broadcast. If we kept it quick, it shouldn't be too difficult.
Perfect.
Yeah, let's just send a quick message asking if there is one Zab Kanai we should be relinquishing Vorin to.
Okay, so he, puts that he ends up like typing that through, letting the system filter that through a secured channel, and fires that off.
Okay.
He says that's going. Directly through. Hopefully, we'll hear back. What should we tell this person in the meantime?
have him stay in a holding pattern while we confirm his identity and prepare the package.
I can do that.
Okay.
So he brings the channel back up and he says, unidentified individual, we are attempting to identify who you are. Please hold your position while we pause for station identification.
Excellent.
Then you hear that robotic voice come back through. Affirmative.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Don't you have bad feelings about everything?
Guess that's why he's still alive.
And then as you are, as you're looking, Cade, he's looking down at the scanner and he says, Dre, do you want to come take a look at this?
What you got? Walks over and takes a look.
He says, he looks down at the sensors and he says, that vessel isn't coming up. We've only got him on visuals. And we wouldn't have seen him if he didn't hail us.
Could
I don't
he
like this.
have an actual cloaking device?
I've heard of them, but they are like highly illegal.
That's what I thought.
What
Although,
does the ship look like?
okay.
The ship actually has a vague Naboo design. So it's if you're familiar with episodes 1 and 2, the ships from Naboo all have that like a silvery sort of SR-71 kind of look to it. So they're all like kind of swayed back and sweeping points and whatnot. So this looks very similar to that. However, it's not nearly as bright and silvery. It's more of a muted gray, but it does give kind of a Naboo system sort of feeling.
Okay.
Have I seen this ship before?
Actually, you have.
Would I recognize that I've seen it before? Like, is it distinctive enough that I would recognize
You've
it?
never seen a ship like this before in your life. So it's that distinct. That's the only reason why I said it's like a Naboo style, is because that's the
Right.
closest that anybody could.
And I probably
Who
have
could
never
compare?
seen a Naboo ship.
Maybe in a brochure, because they're popular. They're popular amongst royalty types. That's really their only market. I think of it along the lines of like limousines, like specialty limousine sort of things. Even though they have starfighters and whatnot, that's kind of their market. The really rich people. That's why they tend to look so glitzy.
I've seen a ship like this among Lord Torinar's, I don't know what you call it, a bay of ships.
A fleet.
Fleet? I don't know, that sounds too much. Maybe if he has some kind of like a password or other sort of signal that he can give to us that he's from Lord Torinar?
You
I
know,
just don't like the whole idea.
I mentioned this sort of thing to Lord Torinar at least once, if not twice, as far as the clandestine nature. We should have some passwords or something, but
Yeah, passwords
He's-
might be a good idea.
hopefully he'll respond. I mean, if he did send them, we should be
Sure.
fine.
He does
You would
like
think
his
that he-
surprises, but
Yeah, but something like that, you think he would contact us, let us know to be expecting them.
yeah,
And
I
again-
would think this is kind of an important piece.
And at that point, you get a transmission back on the secure channel,
Mhm.
and it came from Lord Torinar, confirming.
Okay. All right.
It's just listed as indicating that that's the retrieval agent.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Just wanted to make sure it wasn't some rival house or whatever.
All right. Well, Cade, if you can go ahead and let him know he can come in and land, we can proceed with the transfer.
Sure thing. So he puts them back on, on the line. He says, "Unidentified vessel, you are cleared to dock. Please, power down your weapons and come aboard." You see the visual again come back online. Confirmed.
I'm still going to keep that law enforcement droid nearby.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't blame
Not a
you.
bad idea.
Yeah. I mean, as soon as you say that, Cade's like, yeah. And he's reaching for a weapon too. He's like, if you guys are spooked, I'm spooked. I'm still kind of new to this. This is my first day.
Yeah.
no.
She's on alert.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and draw my blaster
Okay.
and be positioned.
We weren't expecting a retrieval agent, so
Judging by the picture on Twitch, my hopes aren't high, but
yeah. Owen
but I don't know that.
is getting his blaster pistol ready, but is not drawing it for obvious reasons.
Actually, what I'm going to do, you guys go meet him, and I'm going to hang back with Boren until you guys give us the all clear.
Okay. That's doable.
Just in case he comes out blasting or something.
Right. Ashi, you want to join me with that, or do you want to stay back and protect Vorin?
No, I think Owen and Nasara can protect him, and I will go with you.
Okay. So then start heading towards the hangar so we can meet the guy. And while he's walking along, he's going to try to engage his danger sense ability.
Sure. Go ahead.
Yes.
In that case, I'll just have to get my rifle out.
Okay. And so, Montan, you're hanging back with the police bot?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Boren.
Okay. Okay, cool. Gotcha. I just want to...
Like,
I'm trying to
you know, not-
visualize what you guys are doing. So you are hanging back with Vorin and the police bot, waiting for the okay. Everybody
Yes.
else is going forward.
Okay. Real quick,
Is
please
that
remind me.
what? That's what I'm asking. Is that what you guys are doing?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
The roll? What did we roll? Our force?
So then for danger sense, yeah, we both have that. It is a moderate sense difficulty in order to just activate it.
Yep.
And
So you're
then
going
it's
to
just
roll.
3D.
You're rolling against your sense.
Yeah.
And you need to get somewhere moderate or higher.
Let's
So
see.
3d6.
Well, whatever your sense is. I think yours and mine are the same, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I just barely missed it. I'm one below the range. Oh, you got it.
I have 13.
You did, Dale.
Sweet.
See, moderate. I got it. I got the moderate.
Well, you got 6 on the wild die, but I don't think it matters.
Right, yeah. She's got
Yeah.
it
So
up.
if you get 11 or higher, you succeeded.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't, but she does. So
Okay.
now, let's see here. So when it's used, the Jedi detects any attacks the round before they're made, gives the Jedi a round to decide how to react
Sure.
to the danger.
Sounds good. So so this ship kind of slows to a stop. It is size-wise, it is still Starfighter in comparison, but this is relative to the size of like a light freighter, similar to the Blue Saber. So it's not compact, more like an X-wing sort of thing. It's it looks like it has cargo room and whatnot. So it comes to a stop. Door comes down. As you guys can see on the stream from the picture, I've also posted it in the Facebook chat, so you can see what that looks like. That is the individual at hand. You can see that they do have some sort of a weapon hanging from their side. Jedi would obviously identify that as a lightsaber. It could be a light foil of some kind, but most likely a lightsaber. And his armored form comes walking forward, and he just looks to the four of you or five of you who are standing there, because Cade's kind of hanging in the back towards the door, kind of leaning back up against it with his blaster just in case he needs to duck back behind it and use some cover to start firing.
So
So
you are
So that-
here to collect somebody, correct?
That is correct.
And do you have their name?
I'm here to pardon me. I am here to retrieve Vorin Naal.
and I didn't pick up anything with my danger sense.
Well, you're not detecting an incoming attack.
Okay. She'll look at Drade and just kind of shake her head and relax just a little bit.
Okay. I take it you are a Jedi?
No,
No. Yet you have a Jedi's weapon at your side.
I have a Force user's weapon at my side.
I see.
But you yourself are not a Force user.
I fail to see the relevancy. I am simply here to retrieve the package and return it to interested parties.
I'm going to use Sense Force.
Sure.
See if I can get a bead on this guy. Okay. 3d6. Oh, yeah, what did I need for that? Sense Force. Okay, moderate for an area. Everything's moderate.
You can do it.
Is
do
there a
we?
way I can tell if this guy's just trying to bullshit or?
Given the fact he's in all armor, no. Because you can't really read facial expressions or anything.
Yeah.
I'm gonna re-roll that.
Sure.
Wild die was 1.
Oh, bummer.
Oh, that'll do
That's
it.
better.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
don't have to roll.
So that is up, and so now that means can use it to sense the ambient force within a place. It doesn't detect sentient beings, but can tell a character the rough magnitude of the force in an area or object. Rich, the rough type of life forms. Yeah, that type of stuff.
Sure. Yeah. So my question to you, was that your first Jedi power, or did you pick that up after training with Ixarin?
I got that after training with Ixarin.
Okay. So then you obviously are unaware of like the power levels that you were around at the Jedi Temple, so you don't really have a frame of reference
Okay.
for that. But when you first started learning that, and obviously determining the force in both you, Ashijak, and Ixarin, you were able to gauge the magnitude off of that. So that's kind of how you started picking up on the ebb and flow, as well as you were able to pick up on the ebb and flow of the academy that you were at.
Right. Okay.
This guy is far greater than Ixarin.
Wow. Can I get a sense of whether he's more light side or dark side?
I don't know if it allows for that, does it?
Actually, it's
I think that that's a specific power, isn't it?
let's see here. Okay,
Sense
so
evil.
let's the rough type and quantity of life forms, and whether the area or object tends toward the dark side or the light side.
Okay.
For example, the tree in Dagobah, which Luke Skywalker saw.
Okay,
the
good
dark
deal.
place. Okay, cool.
You are actually able to detect more light than dark.
Okay, so it's got a little darkness in him, but
But there is some
more
yes.
light. Okay. I sense you've been through much, you've made certain decisions. Not all of them have been seemly, but I do think you are on the side of the light. Then he turns to Ashi and goes, I think we can trust him.
She's muted and distracted by something right now.
So then he'll turn to Cade and go,
Sorry,
Here you are.
I'm here. My son was talking to me.
Gotcha. He'll turn around, and if Cade's in the back, and be like, we can go ahead and let Vorin go with him. He's all right.
Okay, so he
Nisara will sheath her holster her blaster.
okay.
Same.
And Cade presses a button to retract the monofilament wire down the hallways.
Yeah.
And he whistles to Montan at this point and gives him a thumbs up.
Apparently, a field goal. Oh no!
Yeah, touchdown! Unbreaded.
Come on, package, let's go.
So he's like,
He
so
doesn't have a name.
he kind of shrugs and follows at this point. And as soon as Vorin, approaches, Akonai at this point motions him forward. He says, "You are to come with me, Mr. Nall. I am here to deliver you to interested parties."
I find that vacant unconvincing.
So he kind of looks to all of you for a second, and he says, he's like, as if hoping that somebody's going to reassure him that this is okay.
And he'll look to him and say, he is on our side. You can trust him.
Good luck.
So
May the force be with you.
he nods at this point. And he says, "Yeah. So I'm not exactly a career criminal or blaster slinger or whatnot, but if there's any way I can return the favor in the future, let me know."
It's kind of you, Vorin. Thank you. And may the force be with you.
And you as well. So he walks off at that point, and Akonai just nods in acknowledgement as he walks on board, and he turns and follows Vorin up the ramp. And at this point, the ship starts taking off and slowly backing up back out into space.
Well, maybe Nisara can get a password out of Lord Torinor for future.
Definitely
Or
needs
maybe something
worth a
so
try.
we know if we're doing this again, we know someone's coming to pick him up.
The more I think of it, I think I do understand a little bit about why he would do that. If we were to have all of the information, that means that if somebody got into our heads or interrogated us or grabbed our data pads, they would know the entire plan. But if he keeps at least some of it, especially the last part, the last relay handoff to himself, that keeps the mission itself at least valid, a little safer.
It would still
could
be
have
good
said
to have
somebody.
some kind of code to let us know whether it's a yes or a no. Like if it's just a certain word.
True.
That way, we're not about to shoot the person we're going to hand the guy off to.
It does keep us on our toes. And it let me know that he was extremely powerful, strong with the Force. More
Really?
than Master Ixarin. I was surprised.
Could he have possibly been a Jedi Master?
He didn't say he was a Jedi, like he was never part of the Order. He must be a natural talent, but I didn't think it could be possible to
A natural
get to that
talent
level.
a natural talent that must not have been picked up by the Empire yet.
That's fascinating.
That's rare.
Only a matter of time.
Well, Lord Torinar's network of contacts is seemingly infinite. I'm amazed that he's able to find so many like this. That's impressive.
I kind of wonder how many other Jedis he know that are out there.
If he knew, he'd want to keep it to himself because he doesn't want the information to leak to the Empire, I'm sure. He's being extremely careful about all of that. It's making more and more sense.
It would just take one Inquisitor and... Oh, they're all dead.
Well, now that we've had that wonderful discussion, mission complete, everybody. I still suggest we stay here for at least another few hours before we take off. Let's...
Given we pose as the Empire, yeah.
Exactly. So,
Oh,
whatever we want to do, I suppose, or...
I don't know. I know Montan's going to go play with his droids.
So that means we don't really have to return tomorrow since we no longer have the package.
Well, if we
Is
want
there
to confirm we're
something
still
else
alive.
you had in mind?
Just wanted to kind of explore.
Aid at this point's like, I'm going to go use the bathroom. You guys have a nice night.
Mhm.
He just like promptly kind of walks back out at that point. A little bit of a shiver in his step.
Yeah, we're totally unfazed by it all.
Code
He's like,
for
good
he
thing I
probably
wore my
pissed
brand
himself.
pants.
He knows what I'm talking about. That's why he's wearing the brown pants.
Well, I'm gonna walk around the area, make sure
Yeah.
I know what we've got available to us.
Yeah, I kind of like to explore.
Well, we had just about all we were told by Cade.
True.
Yeah, but it's good to have eyes on everything.
True. Just hope Montan doesn't start disassembling the patrol droid or chef droid.
I am exactly going to, well, not disassemble, but
We're gonna
yeah,
have
Montan's
Salisbury
gonna-
steak every
To be
night.
followed by the reassembly.
he is going to like set up his little, what will be his droid shop. And I do want to look at the law enforcement droid and find out what law it's enforcing. I want to make sure that like it doesn't figure out we're imperial criminals and try to arrest us.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's currently operating under a modified Elrude sector law enforcement protocol. So it is operating off of corporate law.
Can
Maybe I'll-
I
Oh, go ahead.
can I give it a directive that danger towards our party is illegal.
100%.
All right, I'm gonna roll it. Once I find my stats, there we go.
Rolls it, and the droid proceeds to go rogue.
Oh no.
Oh,
End of
no.
Montana.
Makes me think of Sarge in Fallout 4.
Oh no.
17.
Okay, yeah. So basically, you rewrite protocols so that you are included in the laws, so to speak, that it's enforcing.
I am the law. And if it's cool, I copied down what all that typing was, as I was copying down the stats from the books for these types of droids.
Cool.
In case I want to buy them new skills.
Oh, gotcha. No problem.
Like up the law enforcement droid to a blaster of 10D or something.
Oh, that would be expensive. And you'd actually have to, because you couldn't buy something like that. That would be highly illegal. You'd have to write all that.
All right.
Just because, obviously, we're coming off the Clone Wars and all the droids and whatnot, so...
So turn it into a makeshift B1.
Makeshift what?
B1,
What's a B1?
a B1 battle droid.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Gotcha.
Oh, I guess.
At that point, you're getting to like assassin protocol droid, or not assassin protocol droids, but assassin.
Well, I kind
protocol.
of secretly had that on my wish list.
Oh yeah, no, I know. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying you're veering directly into the illegal territory, which, if you're going to buy, you can't really just buy off the ready market. You either have to build it or go to some place like Nar Shaddaa.
If you want an assassin droid, just borrow Nasara's droid.
It's Lord Torinar's droid.
It actually doesn't work that way. I can't take skills from one droid and copy them into another.
Huh.
Like there's something about when the software assimilates. If you know anything about AI, there's like a layer even humans don't understand. It assimilates itself to make it work. So, like, I can buy modules, and that's what I did for T4. Is I bought modules and installed them and had to let them assimilate themselves so that they became one functional piece. That's why I have to keep buying knowledges and stuff for the droids.
So you guys take a tour of the facility, and getting obviously more familiarized. Montan's setting up his own little personal hive, marking his territory figuratively and literally.
Just because I'm furry.
But you take some time, you rest at this point, without having to be confined to the bunks on the ship. In the rooms that you guys have effectively taken for yourselves. Cade reports that he is heard back. And you guys have been given the all clear.
Okay.
And when you return, he says the money will be waiting.
Good to know.
Okay, so the guy was legit.
All right, crew. Let's saddle up, get on out of here, and collect.
All right. About the mine cade, don't really worry about that.
Okay, I figured as much.
So, Kate, are you on staff? Like, are you employed?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, through you guys, yeah.
Well, I'm starting to wonder if we have to worry about payroll. Is the thing.
Oh no! You guys don't pay me. I'm paid through. The other means.
Okay.
I'm
Sounds
good. I just I'm paid to be lonely here at the station.
Awesome. What a job.
He said, I mean, pay is good. It's kind of quiet.
You got the place to yourself.
Yeah, well, plus I've got some things I need to do anyway. So hopefully next time I see you, I'm going to have that turret up and running, and everything should be good to go.
Well, thank you again, Cade. You're doing a great job. And until we meet again, may the force be with you. So, get on the ship, get it all ready, prepped, take off, head back to Pelagon.
Okay. And at that point, you guys zip back. From here, obviously, it does take a little bit of time. Space flight. We can fast forward through that. Touching back down, or bringing the ship back into the Pelagian Star space station. And then taking a shuttle back down planet side to Pelagon proper. The now familiar seaside, oceans, and whatnot as a platform as you guys touch down. Guards and a speeder are waiting to take you back to the estate. It's evening time when you guys touch down at this point, so it's a nice, cool evening. The speeder is topless at this point. Kind of flying, flying to the air. It's a nice touch, getting some fresh air at this point from being inside a space station and a ship the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So no recycled, breeze for you at this point. Touching down at the estate again at this point. Waiting for debrief payment and then to be shuttled back off to your respective homes. Or apartment, I should say.
Good job, team.
Excellent. So then, yes, as we make it to Tornar, he'll go meet him for the debrief, taking whoever wants to come along with him to the waiting room, or he'll just meet everybody back at the what do we have, like a cabin that we have here at Pelagon?
I think I'll go.
It's actually it's equivalent of like a townhome. It's like an apartment that has enough rooms for everybody here.
Okay, cool.
Alan's tagging
I'll
along
look him.
since he might have. Well, might already given his part in the jailbreak.
And I'm going to drag Nasara along so she can get that passcode.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I mean, I'd be headed to the estate anyway because my child is there.
Again, it is evening time. You can, as you are brought inside, you can smell the faint smell of dinner passing through the halls, as looks like the royal family here has recently had something very pleasant to eat. Those of you who are waiting in the waiting room at the estate, anyways, you're actually the first person in the office waiting on Exal, and eventually Exal comes walking back in, rubbing the back of his neck with a little bit of a hurried walk, and and closing the door behind him. He says, "Drade, I apologize for keeping you waiting. I've been running around like a madman, getting caught up with things, but outside of the obvious success, anything other to report?"
Well, interesting that you found an individual such as Akanai to send to us. It's incredible how many of these people you're able to find and get in contact with. And I know I said I wouldn't pry into your overall plan, but just let you know, whenever you like to spill the beans on the bigger picture, if that would help us to help you in any way, just let me know.
Understood. I'm not at liberty to explain the bigger picture. And if I'm honest, I hope I never have to.
See. Well, speaking of which, since, of course, we didn't know exactly that Akanai was going to be there, and I gather that you don't want to relinquish 100% of the information of all operations for security purposes, I get it, but is there any way when we need to communicate with another one of your agents that we can more easily identify each other instead of having to call you on a coded channel to verify?
I see. Yeah, that you can pin on me. That was my fault. That was a last minute change to ensure his safety. Once the and I apologize, I was not at liberty to raise you on the comms at that point because I was busy with my role as what I am. I won't bore you with those particular details, but once the Empire realized what had actually happened, obviously they put out quite the bulletin to try and track down what happened to this individual. So things got really hot for him really quick, and I needed somebody I could trust from there on out to quietly escort him away from there, essentially continuing the show game.
So they figured out our ruse.
Huh.
Were you in the waiting room, or did you go into?
I would. Oh, I guess I'm in the waiting room. Never mind.
Right.
So
Sorry,
yeah,
this is a private conversation.
door is open. Sorry.
Right. Yeah.
So
Force eavesdropping.
right. Yeah.
Rude.
So Drade's like, oh,
Force cup to the wall.
not everything has to be force. It's just a cup to the wall.
Is it an evil cup to the wall?
Oh, for crying out loud. So Drade's like, so our ruse didn't last as long as we wanted to. That's a shame. Gosh.
No, the ruse lasted quite a while. From what I understand, there was interrogation that needed to happen, given the level of embarrassment that befell the captain of that vessel.
Ah.
But from what I can tell, again, I don't have anyone in the ISB, but from what I can tell, I haven't detected anything that anyone's identity was compromised.
Excellent.
It was the fact that this particular political prisoner went missing directly. It wasn't some sort of an attack. It wasn't some sort of transfer ambush. It was quite literally pulling the wool over their eyes.
I see. Well, I'm glad we were able to get him. He's all right. He was speaking highly of you. Apparently, you two have been in contact for the past couple of months. Has he provided you with good information?
Oh, that's interesting that he would indicate that. He's actually the primary reason why I own the Ebon Hawk now.
Oh.
He provided me with enough details, historic details of that particular vessel, that when I found someone claiming to have it, he helped me authenticate it.
I see. Interesting. Has that been his main duty for you then? Like authenticating old Republic artifacts?
In a selfish sort of way, yes. He has been, he's a wealth of historic knowledge. Obviously, that is his field of study. That has been my biggest use for him at this point. And I have made generous donations in the past to the school that he was teaching at prior to everything that befell. Obviously, that particular piece has stopped. But to the individuals that sought me out to try and free him, I can say that your little group has made several influential individuals quite happy.
Glad we could be of service. He's a good man. Glad he didn't fall into the hands of the Empire again.
Well, as am I, especially given the problems that are on the horizon. But we need we need not only fighters in this particular war, but we need intellectual thinkers as well. Individuals to remind us of where we came from and why we fight.
That makes sense. Well, excellent. Beyond that, do you have another operation lined up for us, or are we waiting?
I do. This is obviously it will be boring. I do apologize. This is nowhere near as exciting as what you just recently did, but it is very important. And so he slides a credit stick over.
Okay.
He says that is the transfer payment. I have added an additional 10,000 for that robust acting that got you onto that vessel. So you may disperse those credits however you see fit.
Duly noted. Thank you.
He says now, this one is more of a legitimate nature, so there's nothing to be worried or shamed of that. However, it is still secret, as this is not something that I can have others knowing of. And he pulls up a star chart, in front of you on the desk.
Okay.
And he ends up showing you a picture of the Topani sector. Let me get a map here for you so you guys can see just what it is I'm talking about. That. You punk. That's not what I wanted. It's the file type. It's not wanting to. It's trying to save it as WEBP instead of a PNG. That's fine. I don't care. I don't want to save it as. So what can I save it as? Save it. Save options. Save as copy. Can't save it. I can
I
save
missed
it.
what he said. What did we get for pay?
50K total.
Yeah, 50K total.
Oh.
So originally
Make a
the
name
deal
for
was
myself,
20K, 40K if you got in and out undetected, and he's actually throwing in an additional 10K for how you guys were able to pull it off.
The ISB Act.
Wait,
Yes.
isn't that 70? 20, 40, 10?
No,
20
20
double
plus
that.
20 plus 10.
20, 20, 10. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because that 20 was doubled.
Let me get this.
10K for style.
I mean,
Yeah,
not,
because he was
right?
saying, I don't have anyone in the ISB, but
Yeah.
I heard an interrogation was happening, and it was more on the captain rather than. Unless I heard that right, rather than.
And it was the 5 of us, right? So that's 10K apiece.
However you got, he lifted up to Dre to divvy it
Well,
out.
yeah,
So.
we'll let Dre do it.
So the map has been put into the Facebook chat. So you can actually see just what it is he's referring to. So he motions to the star chart and he shows you the Polonia province, which is on the far left of the map, middle left. And he says, you're going to be traveling to Obelia, which is one of our small colonies in this particular sector. And you are going to be charting well, hopefully anyways, with some luck, I need you to chart a new way into a space lane.
Interesting. Okay.
With any luck, you can route, or you can navigate a new route from Obelia to the Shapani bypass.
Okay.
Which I will clip a copy here so you guys can see partly what that looks like from the overall galactic map. So you have visuals here. So this is what it looks like when it's laid out. This one isn't laid out the same way. You'll see the Shapani bypass. If you cast your eyes over from left to right, you'll eventually see Obelia there.
Okay. Yeah, the top middle.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. And Shapani bypass over to the left.
Correct. Okay. And then on the actual star chart, I'm not going to give you the whole thing, but I'll give you a visual reference of where the Shapani bypass sits in relevance to some of the core worlds and some of the other planets around it. So you get kind of a visual of what it is he's going for.
Okay.
So it's like a next level higher view. So there you go.
Okay.
He says, now, individuals thousands of years ago have attempted this time and again, so I'm not expecting success, but I need success. This particular piece is extremely vital to the future plans.
Understood.
This is not for monetary gain. This is for, without sharing too much detail, it's for emergency purposes.
Okay. Some sort of passage to leave open for an escape or a shortcut that'll be needed, I take it?
Well, correct. Take a look at the star charts and look at how limited we are should something break out.
Right.
We would have to take a long way around, and that's potentially a risk should we need to evacuate for any reason to get to the Shapani bypass. If we can somehow find a space lane or create one from Obelia around our allies in the Cadrian province, potentially we could cut quite a bit of time off of that jump, allowing us access from behind Pelagon as opposed to having to come through friendly sectors or the free worlds region.
All right. I can see the strategic value, of course. Yeah, it gives you extra options there. All right. Do we have any special equipment that we'll be using to chart this new lane?
Your ship is going to be equipped with 3 hyperspace buoys that you will need to drop in strategic order should you find or be able to carve out a successful new lane and map it out. And I will also be employing some standard navigators to sit at our system's edge so that you can potentially stay within relative comms range since you're going out so far into the black.
Noted. Right. Do you know if we should be expecting any resistance? I know you said it's going to be probably boring, but has there been any activity in that area as of late?
We know of nothing out there. There's a reason why there are no navigation. There are no space lanes that go through that way.
See.
So whatever you find out there, if there's anything of use, obviously that could potentially be of more use as well, be it a hazard or otherwise. So for
Keep
the
our
moment,
eyes
you
open.
will need to put your pioneer hats on.
Little exploring. Wow. Doing a.
Mike
He's
changed
ready.
stats real quick.
Exactly. Yeah, he's ready.
Dad's played Oregon Trail and he's putting it to use.
Dang it! The team died of space dysentery.
Again.
Again. Maybe we should bring our medic this time.
Medic.
All right. Let's see. When would you like us to start on this?
You just got in. It is urgent, but I don't see why you couldn't take another day.
All right. Understood. We'll get back with the team. See about leaving either first thing in the morning or first thing tonight, depending on how we feel.
I'll leave that up to you.
They'll all want to know about possible compensation for this.
Correct. Compensation pending at this point.
Understood?
Obviously, any resources that you expend, such as fuel and food, will be immediately recomped. That part won't. You won't have to worry about that. But if it's unsuccessful, I will try to figure something out to compensate you monetarily wise, depending upon the duration. If you are successful, we'll reevaluate that as well.
I see. Do you have an estimate of how long you think this would take, or is this simply going to be literally new territory?
This is quite literally new territory. We have no idea what exactly is out there other than no one's been able to navigate it. So we don't know if there are spaceborne life forms out there. We don't know if there are black holes, dark stars. We don't know really anything out there other than no one's been able to navigate it.
So this is extremely vital. People have tried it for hundreds, if not thousands of years, and you just need us to do it. Got it. No problem.
Correct.
But seriously, I have faith in the crew. I think we can do it.
I do too. I would hate to think if I have to rescale some of this. Not that it falls on you. It's just this particular piece of it is very important to my future plans.
Duly noted. He picks up the crit stick and he's written the stuff on the data pad. And he's like, "Well, if there's anything else, I'll write it down. But if not, thank you, Lord Toronar, and I'll bid you adieu."
So he extends his hand to shake it.
May the force be with you.
And you as well.
He heads out into the waiting room.
Okay.
So who is out waiting there?
I am.
I think all of us are.
I think all of us went.
Sure.
Okay. So yeah, he goes out there and he's like, "All right, team. First off, congratulations again on what we were able to do. The handoff at the very end, that was something he had to tack on because, well, he was a VIP, that Naal, and he wanted to make sure that Norin was going to actually be taken care of and not fall into the wrong hands at the very last moment. So he did apologize for that. This next mission, though, should be in a way simple and in a way historic, actually. But before I get to that, he did go ahead and double the pay, and because of how well it all worked out, he threw on another 10K. 50,000 to us. With all of us
Well-
here, I think all of us were doing an excellent job. All of us contributed perfectly to what we were doing. So what I'm going to do is 5,000 to Nisara, 5,000, or wait a second, that's 10. So it'll be 10,000 to Nisara, 10,000 to Montan, 10,000 to Ashi, 12,000 to Owen, and then 8,000 to myself. And Owen, 2,000. It was all dependent on your acting. And you nailed it, my friend. We couldn't have done it without that.
I figured. I'll be honest, I was nervous the entire time.
If it's okay, I would like to forego 1,000 of mine to go to Owen as well.
Very well.
We wouldn't have made this without him.
Excellent. Now then, got that out of the way. So the compensation for this next job is pending because of complicated variables. This mission is vital for Lord Toronar's future plans because it's charting a new space lane. One that apparently has been attempted to be charted many times in the past, but people have failed every time. But this would provide a fantastic strategic advantage should they need it in the future for whatever plans that they have exactly with whoever he's working with on the whole. We have 3 hyperspace buoys that they're putting on the ship that will be dropping in strategic locations to map out the lane to make sure it can actually be followed. We're going to have at least a degree of communication while we're still at the edge of that space lane, which will be traveling from Obelia to the Shapani bypass. That's the main point, to have this additional lane. Don't know how long it'll take. This is literally new territory. We are literally entering brand new outer space territory. We don't know what's going to be out there. And that's part of our job, to find out what's out there, plot this new space lane with the buoys. If anything's interesting, note it, grab it, keep ourselves alive, and come back successfully. He honestly is not quite sure that we'll be able to do it. He does have confidence in us, and I do too, but it's going to be new. So we're going to need to be careful. Questions so far?
Do you know what the reason of previous failures is?
He was vague on that. It seems that a lot of teams weren't able to return, so it's actually unknown what the hazards are or why it couldn't be charted. It could have just been bad luck. There could be black holes that we didn't expect, strange beings, an anomaly that nobody's heard of. We really don't know, and that's a part of the job, to find out and see if we can even get this space lane to happen. If we can, it's fantastic.
So basically, what we're doing is traveling between the 2 points and just seeing what we can find, finding some kind of a clear route.
That's the primary point, making that clear route, because the normal space lanes, I'm not sure how much you know about this, but yeah, you don't want to be slamming into something in hyperspace, something that's as large as a celestial object, planet or what have you.
How are our scanners?
We'll need to make sure that they're up to snuff. If we could update that, that'd be great, and anything else that we can. Because, yeah, once we get out there, we're going to be close to on our own and just on the ship. I'm not sure that we can expect that we'll be able to land anywhere nearby, because that spot, that area between the 2 points is uncharted.
Ooh,
What
We've
about refueling and stuff?
We'll need to make sure that we're okay on that. It might be a good idea to add some solar paneling, if they have that, to the ship. That way, at least if we can get near a star system, or at least with some light, we won't run out of power. But of course, that's not going to make an infinite amount of food paste for us, so we can't spend forever there. And I don't know how long it could take, days, weeks, just depends on what we run into, if anything.
If I remember correctly, we've encountered quite a few pirates while we've been in the certain sectors.
Could
Could
be
be
that as
interesting.
well. But whatever it's going to be, I think I know I'm going to be using my funds to update the ship as much as possible to keep it safe. A better shield, a faster hyperdrive if we can get one, maybe even a tractor beam if we can attach it. Just whatever we can get our hands on and afford right now, really. That way, we can be ready for almost anything.
I'll help out as much as I can, Drade. The money's not really that important to me.
Much obliged. But be that as it may, he'd like us to leave as soon as possible. In the morning at the latest, I let him know that depending on how all of you feel, I know we just got back, but if we're raring to go, we could technically leave in an hour after we get ready with the ship, or leave tonight. Depends on what all of you'd like to do and how you feel. I'm not going to force you, since we just came back from a long journey.
Perhaps
true.
maybe in the morning to give Nasara some time with her son, since we have no idea what we're going up against and how long we're
Would-
going to be.
I would be much obliged.
Fair point. All right. We'll leave in the morning. Tonight, I'm going to be headed to the market, maybe even headed to the station, seeing what we can shove onto my ship to make sure it's even better. Not going to be anywhere close to Akani's vessel. Boy, that was something.
So, Montaigne, you want to go shopping?
Hey, Trade, can I see that star chart he gave you? I want to look it over.
Goes in, hands over the copy.
Thanks.
Maybe
So it's gonna be
find
a-
us some solar panels?
This is going to be a massive data processing stuff. I may need to tweak T4 just for data crunching. I mean, we're talking about a cartography mission at the very least, which means measuring, a lot of astrogation, measuring gravity. So,
Yeah,
give
especially his astrogation. If you're able to buff that, I'm good at what I do, but he's going to be better if you can program him that way, especially in a completely new space lane.
Are you going to need anything for that?
I mean, I've been building him out of pocket, right? He's, and I just got 10K, so I'm pretty sure I could assimilate a lot of astrogation data, and I probably should get him trained on sensors while I'm at it. Because in theory we could plug him into that droid socket and just let him crank while we sleep.
Yeah.
Which might speed us up some. I mean, he's no person. He doesn't do insight very well, but he can crunch data.
True.
Yeah, let's give him as much as we can.
Well, I
guess I will go look for the solar panels while Montaigne gets our droid updated.
Excellent. I'll
Is
be
there
looking
anything
for,
else?
I mean, anything that we can do to make the ship more defensible in case we do run into trouble. I have a very standard, it's the most basic model of shield. If we can upgrade that to the next tier, that'd be nice. I'm not sure if that's going to be available or the cost, but just going to have to do some shopping. Oh, and in case there's some sort of debris or something we need to grab, or because we're going to be in space, a tractor beam, I think, might be useful if they have it, if we can afford it.
Drade, as you're you're looking back and forth to talk to everybody in the waiting room right now, and just and kind of spitballing like ideas and what basically kind of what you're doing right now, and then
Sure.
out of the corner of your fake eyes, yeah, because you see in the halls, you end up seeing something slowly crouching its way along the floor. Kind of big, blending in exceptionally well with the surroundings. It's got 4 eyes and kind of a long reptilian tail. Kind of. But
So then everyone's going to see...
but it appears to be somewhat furry.
Okay. So everyone's probably going to be seeing Drade kind of turning and like facing something. Is that what is that? A creature?
Owen
That's
looks.
new.
Owen looks up.
Okay, so you guys like turn and look, and just as it's starting to jump, like it's about to pounce, you hear this bad mixing. No. That's a mommy friend, and then you end up seeing Nasara's Twi'lek son like come walking out. He's in sort of like lounging clothing, like he was getting ready for bed, sort of thing, and this Nexu was like about ready to jump, and then like stopped real quick and kind of turned and kind of looked at him.
When Nasara sees the Nexu appear suddenly, she's gonna kind of shriek a little and jump, and then just like rub her temples.
Owen just rolls his eyes and just goes back to trying to figure out a good route to carve out between Chopani and Obelia, given the charge he was given.
Have you guys seen a Nexu before?
No.
I
Okay.
think you posted the picture last time.
Did I?
I seem to remember seeing a picture of it.
Go ahead and get that.
It's pretty
posted.
cute
Doggone
in
it.
a,
Well,
in a creepy way.
anyways, you can download that, I guess. Did it again.
Stinking WebP.
I know.
Oh yeah. Oh boy.
Okay, so a
Wait.
solar converter is 12,000 credits, and a tractor beam is 8,000 credits.
20 grand.
Solar converter being a molecule, where does it? Huge molecule thick solar absorbent sails.
Right.
Okay.
So if you're worried about, running out of gas halfway through the black,
Right.
Well, it does run on. It actually has fuel. That would allow you to maintain power.
Okay. Okay. So then, so you'd be like, "Oh, that's quite a pet. Call it. It's Mixie, is it?"
And he climbs up on top of the Nexu. And sitting on almost like he's ready to ride her, and he says, "Yep, this is my Mixie," and kind of does like one of these like right underneath her big jaw sort of thing, and she just kind of goes like this and starts purring really loudly, and you see like all of the razor fangs, coming out from around the smile and whatnot.
Boy, I bet your mom loves Mixie. Don't you? He turns into Zara.
She takes a little getting used to.
Yeah.
Montan's like behind T4.
Like, oh.
Like,
Yeah,
so,
she's probably bigger than he is, huh?
no, because Montan is human sized, just smaller. Yeah.
He's
thought he was,
small
like-
human sized. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're what, like low end 5 foot or something?
Yeah. I thought I put it down. I put 1.575 meters.
Yeah, that doesn't help me. This is America.
Yeah, I know exactly.
That's
Put that in
a
Wales.
little
Dang it!
over 5 feet.
Feet 11 inches.
How many school
4'11".
buses is that?
I know.
4'11".
Okay,
Okay.
so and Mixie is about I think when I looked at it, it's like 3.5 foot.
Plus tail,
Well, no, at
or
shoulders.
like tall.
Like, yeah,
Oh.
at shoulders.
Well, but I mean, like a tiger is not as tall as I am, but I'm still scared of it.
Right, yeah. Yeah, so Montana, of course, when the next dude comes out, is his hair is like like puffed up and around the backside of T4 and whatnot. And Mixie comes walking over and forcibly throws herself up against Nasara's side and like rubs up against her, sort of thing, which will obviously set Nasara off to the side. It'll be like, whoa.
And Nasara like reaches down very tentatively and like touches her fur. Like, I'm gonna pet you, but I'm not super great at. I'm not very confident with this one.
Was this the reason for asking about talking to animals before?
It was curiosity.
Got it.
I guess this is my cue. I will see you all in the morning.
Enjoy your night.
Okay, so Merrick and Mixie, walk off with Nasara. Everybody else, exiting for the evening, and that's where we're going to stop the game for tonight.
Woohoo.
So great game, good job, guys.
All right.
And we will pick up with our adventures into the black for next game, which that will be September 11th.
September. Jeez.
Woohoo.
Oof. Yeah, tell them all I ain't coming back. I don't care, I'm still free. You can't take the sky from me.
Oh no.
Either that or Nasara's going to be in her bunk. Be in my bunk. So thank you guys all for playing. This Friday at 7:30 p.m. is our next Mythic Savannah game. So looking forward to that. Our World of Darkness mixed game has been great so far. And then Marvel Superheroes. Got some interesting stuff on the horizon. This Saturday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So hope you guys tune in, check that out.
I know Davey's not here, but I gotta do it. Let's go.
Yeah, as he would say, let's go. I've got you for 3 minutes. Bone saw is ready. So so thank you guys all for playing with us. You can check us out on the replays or downloads, and we will catch you all again next time. Good night, guys.